Yeah, I think recording has started. So thank you everyone for joining today. We had good chit chat session for the first 8 minutes. Uh, Good if you join early, then we can talk like this before the session starts. And my big thanks to Mohit for coming forward and agreeing to give this session. This certification thing is something which he had written a blog about, and then I asked him some questions. Then somehow during talking, we got to agree or got to uh, you know uh, think that we should have such session. I think someone requested from a group as well regarding something regarding the certification. Okay, so after this session, Mohit's session, we can ask Mohit any questions, and then we can do some general talking as well. Okay, so let's first get done with the session. I will just hand over to Mohit. Mohit, over to you now.
Yeah, hi Gaurav. Yeah, sure. So let me share my screen. Let me know if all can see my screen.
Not yet.
Did you click on your? Now it is starting. It's starting.
It's coming up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure,
I can see.
All good.
sure. So everyone can see my screen, correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Hello everyone. My name is Mohit Bansal. A big thanks to everyone, especially Gaurav and Navit, for giving me this chance to speak on this platform. So yeah, so that's good. I will be sharing my experience for my SAP certifications, or I would say my overall certification experience. I would be talking about like what is the relevancy of those certification in the current scenarios where technologies are changing with very fast pace. So yeah, so that would be about to- topic for the discussion. Yeah. So, like apart from this, as far as my SAP experience is concerned, I am working in SAP technology since 2005, 2006. I started with company called Force Motors in Maharashtra as a SAP ABAP consultant. Then I moved to Fujitsu and Accenture for 6, 7 years. And from last 3, 4 years, I am based out of Singapore. Yeah. So presently, so basically, I am a SAP technical developer, like work on SAP ABAP related stuffs, mostly like ABAP, WebDyn Pro, Workflow, etc. So slowly, based on my experience, I had now become a technical architect, a solution architect for different S4HANA projects as well. Sorry, yeah. So this is just the quick snapshot of all the certifications that I have done so far. I will coming to detail means I will be coming to detail of individual certifications and will try to justice for this half an hour session to give insight and out for preparation about those certification. But this is just a quick view of all the badges that I have received so far. Yeah. So that basically the agenda which I just thought to discuss for that session would be like about my SAP certifications journey overview. I would be like giving the glimpse of how we can go for the certification, what is the registration process, how we can claim the certifications and a high level cost and like the high level process for achieving those certification. I would be sharing my experience, how I start preparing for individual certifications, or I'm like learning new technologies. Yeah. After that, I will try to go deep dive. Basically, I will try to do deep diving for few of the certifications which is currently relevant for like most of us, and I'm really getting like messages from my friends, or I'm really getting a call from my friends, like for especially for those certifications related to ABAP and HANA, Fiori and Cloud Enterprise Extension and all those things. So I will try to go inside bit detail for those certifications and will give you the process flow path, how I personally do those certifications. I will try to cover some key lesson, learn and what are the mistakes that we can avoid that. I also failed in few of the certification exams, so it is not necessary like you. I will be passed in every exam, so I will share those points as well. And of course, I would like to go inside. Means I would encourage everyone to ask as many as questions possible, and whatever be the smallest or basic doubt you have in your mind. So please feel free to ask at any point of time. So I will try to make it more interactive. Okay, so let's start with our uh, presentation. We just want to put one.
Mohit, just sorry to interrupt you. I think it takes a lot to admit that you failed in few of the exams because nobody talks about failure. So I'll say kudos to you, and in case you can share that those failing experience also, that will be great for us.
Sure,
We'll be
Navit.
yeah.
Sure, Navit. That's why I purposefully put that point forward, and that point is in my actually list. Probably I have not put that point in my PPT, but yes, that point, of course, I am going to discuss like what are the things in which I got failed in my first attempt and how I then rectified it and started preparing for those. Yeah. Thank you, Navit. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just put a smaller disclaimer over here. I won't go through inside the detail, but yeah, it's just a disclaimer like every information that I am going to put in that presentation is based out of my experiences. Any percentage wise weightage for any individual topic or the cost of the certification, please go through with SAP sites training.sap for any exact information. It is just for a indicative purpose. Yeah. Okay, so basically I have done 4 SAP certification, and recently, in fact, the last week only I have done one AWS certification. As far as my SAP certification is concerned, I'll just so as far as my SAP certification is concerned, I have started with ABAP and HANA, which is actually specialist level certification, uh, and you can see every exam code also for your future reference. So I have done with ABAP and HANA certification. After that, I have done Fiori Developer Associate level certification. One more certification, SAP Cloud Platform, which I recently saw. SAP had absoluted this particular certification. I don't know why, but for me, it was very useful. Like the last 2 months before, I have done SAP Cloud Platform Enterprise Extension. Basically, this is the S4 HANA Cloud certification. Even though the name tells us SAP Cloud Platform Certification Enterprise Extension, but to me, it looks more or less S4 Cloud certification. I will come to the detail of this certification, and I am really very much interested to share the details for this particular certification. And this was the certification for, it was nothing related to our SAP. It was for a Amazon Web Service. You can do Microsoft Azure, GCP or AWS certification. So basically, I try to put my portfolio with respect to like the concerning all the cloud model. As you all will be aware, like we have a infrastructure as a service, we have a platform as a service, we have a software as a service. So sometimes, and so nowadays, I am means last few years when I started doing this certification. In fact, I came into this S4 HANA journey. I was feeling like many clients were talking like they want to deploy in Microsoft Azure, and they were doing some, and basically they were mentioning various cloud specific terminologies. I was feeling myself lagging in those terminologies or in those specific keywords that were mentioning like they want to take the virtual machine or renting the machine and renting the server. So this was the certification which gives me in and out of further infrastructure understanding how we can deploy our SAP software on the different infrastructure platform. So I would recommend it to everyone, not from the AWS perspective. They can do Microsoft Azure, they can do the GCP or whatever with the cloud infrastructure as a service, they want to do it, but it is good to understand the architecture behind the scene, actually, how it actually works. Okay. So as I have just mentioned, like in my introductory slides, like I started with a company called Force Motors as a ABAP developer. I had worked with various roles like a lead developer, technical architect, solution architect, team lead. So all these certification had really helped me to achieve my goals. I would be sharing few stories in between also, like what are the things that I got benefited from which of the certification. So that will be part of my presentation also. Yeah. So basically, what I feel from like from the especially from the last 5 6 years, like the technology is really changing at very fast fast pace. Every year, every quarter, every release, SAP has coming with some better approach of doing the things. Some new technology is being introduced, and as a consultant, somehow it becomes our responsibility to understand those term means basically to understand those technologies, those key concepts, and how we can achieve those to make our solution which can utilize those latest skill, and ultimately it can give some of the business benefits. I have seen from last 4 5 6 like years, the client the thought process, the client way of thinking had also got changed. They are very much interested to keep on investing on the new technologies, whether it is different our SaaS platform like Fieldglass, Concur, Ariba. They are more interested to do the different SaaS based analytical application like SAP Analytics Cloud and all those things, right? So the clients are also willing to invest a lot for those many technologies, right? And at some point of time, our as a part of the service based industry, our it becomes our responsibility to deliver the things and to understand the things just to sustain us in the market, right? So I would say SAP certification is something which gives, at least to me, some motivation to learn some particular technology in a time-bounded manner. Suppose I say I want to get the initial understanding of SAP Cloud Platform. So I have the mindset, okay, I will do this certification in the next 3 months, 3 4 months. Then at least I could have some understanding of the basic understanding, what are the architecture behind SAP Cloud Platform, what are the SaaS application that SAP is providing behind the scene. So somehow those SAP certifications are being very much important. Okay, so just to share some of the experiences, like how these experiences means how this technology learning has become very important or useful. I feel like, and please let me know if I am too fast or I am just boring some bit of stuff. So please feel free to cut me short. Yeah. So basically, I means I will share few of my experience. Like in 2013, when I started with SAP UI5, I was leading a team with SAP UI5, and I have seen means I so basically that point of time, okay, SAP UI5 has come now. SAP WebDyn Pro and all the things are going down, and it is more than sufficient for us to survive for next few years in the market. Just within in fact that time when SAP UI5 have come, it was very raw UI5 with a Fiori 1.0. Very simple UI5 which we doing via Eclipse. We have a gateway services, even that the gateway service I used to do manually via SC24, means the like the DPC MPC class which we are going to create via SCGW now. That time I used to create via SC24. Even I don't know ki this class name will be the MPC class or DPC class. I just followed the 15-20 page SAP document. Okay, we need to create some class where we need to define all the metadata definition, all the MPC code which has been generated by SAP now by SCGW, like we need to do by our own. So basically to cut a long story short, what I mean, like the SAP is changing their technology pace very fast level. Within a 1 or 2 year, Fiori 2.0 has come. All the Fiori elements, Saddle framework, all the Web ID based development, all the template based development has come. They have introduced SAP Cloud Platform. in between, S4 HANA has also come. S4 HANA with our way of thinking for the ABAP has completely changed. So we used to do now the code in ABAP on HANA. We have to know ABAP on HANA. We have to know ABAP programming model for Fiori. Now we can see like we have a RESTful programming model. Now we can see they are becoming now more the platform agnostic with the evolution of CAP, the Cloud Application Programming Model. You just need to know Java, Node.js, and you can make end-to-end application. So basically, what I mean to say, all these technologies are changing very, very fast pace. And basically for the ABAP consultant, I had felt they are becoming more powerful. Now you can develop end-to-end transitional application, end-to-end analytical application by your own. I had felt there is no kind of like, okay, I am a backend developer. I will just make the CDS and someone will come who will export that CDS in a Fiori element and will generate the application for me. No, it has become my responsibility to develop end-to-end transitional application. It has become our responsibility to develop end-to-end OBP dashboard, end-to-end KPI dashboard, end-to-end APF dashboard, and on the top of that, SAP Analytics Cloud dashboards also. I am seeing, in fact, I had also started working on this for the SAP Analytics Cloud. So SAP Analytics Cloud, so whole BI, BW work, which has been done by the separate team, it has been now concentrated to the ABAP development team, because you need to develop your CDS data model. That data model will be consumed on the top of that, all the dashboards. So basically what I mean to say, we cannot restrict ourselves to a one technology. We have to be learn many technologies at the same time. Of course, we cannot be master of all the technologies, but yes, we need to have learn many technologies, and certification really gives me a good more motivation to do those things. Okay, I'll come to the next slide. Okay, I'll just discuss about the registration and the choice of certification and the claim the certification. So for the registration of any certification, we can go to the training.sap.com. Basically, in the training.sap.com, you can find many of SAP standard books, SAP certification books. You can find so many certification. I will be recommending here only CER 006. Of course, you can choose whatever with the certification code that you want. But for my experience, I would be recommending this CER 006 because it will be giving you a lot of flexibility. Okay, so what kind of the flexibility? Like they have given some predefined set of certifications. So we can select 6 certification out of those predefined certifications. And personally, I believe those certifications that they have given in their predefined certification, those based on S4 HANA cloud-based technology and based on very niche skill. So we don't need to even go for the individual certification, which will be very costly end of the day. In fact, for the SAP TechEd, they have come up with a CER 002 with half of the price, but that that was specific for SAP TechEd, I believe. So as present, we have CER 006. The cost is approximate 599 US dollar or 44,366 Indian rupees. But please check the actual price on saptraining.sap.com. Here we have the benefit, like we can give every certification 3 attempts each. So don't worry if you get fail in a first attempt. Every failure is part to the success. So don't worry if you fail for the second attempt. I am very much sure you will be pass in your final attempts. So just prepare yourself better and you will clear the certifications very well. One more flexibility for this certification, it is like on online protector exam. We just need to schedule at any point of time. Suppose I want to give certification after 3 hours from now. In fact, I have done for many of the certification this, like after coming from office, I thought, okay, say I have to do this certification before this month or something, or because of any reason, I just schedule a 1 or 2 hours before and I can give the certification. So it is very much flexible. the online protector person will check your complete desk. They will ask you for some your government issue identity card. It may be your driving license, Aadhaar card, passport, whatever you want to show, just show them, and they will be keep monitoring you. Like it is as good as you are giving the certification in their test center. They will be monitoring you. If you found anything like you are seeing somewhere else or you leave your desk, so they will immediately stop their certification training exam, and it might be possible you can get rejected on that exam. So it is as good as you are giving exam in their test center. So I personally recommend this CR006. Okay. So once done, once done with our certification, we submit the exam and we can claim so that your claim um, will issued our certification within 1 or 2 days of certification, and we can see all the training history in the training.sap.com dashboard, like what are our previous results, why we had like we are pass, fail or something, and we will get our this thing.
And
Okay.
Mohit, just to add, I think CER06 will not have all the exams. So in case you want to buy this or do something with it, you make sure you check the list of certifications which are covered. I think, right? It doesn't have everything.
Yes, I am completely agree with you. So that's why I have told they have their predefined set of certifications. So we need to select only from their predefined certification. If we want to do some extra certification which is not in their CR006, so we need to purchase that particular certification separately.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a good chance to get 6 certification if you pass in every
every 2 months. It's very hard. In fact, I am purchasing from my own. Means the last time I have got from my company Accenture, but from last 1 year as a now independent contractor, I had purchased by my own, and I just target 3 certification. I don't target 6. I just target 2 to 3 certification maximum.
Don't tell us that you have wasted 12 chances in clearing 3 certifications.
No. All my certification except no. That's a good point. That's a valid point. So basically, I will come to that point. Which certification I have got failed. Apart from that, all the certification I am through till now. Yeah. Thank you, Navid. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to what Mohit has said, okay, I think if I can recall it correctly, there is a cheaper option available as well, where you have the option of 2 certifications. Like if you don't want to spend 44,000 rupees, okay, there is a cheaper option as well. Okay, and also most of the partners, the companies you work for, they all have the SAP Learning Hub subscription. SAP gives it to all. There's a partner edition. So you can definitely approach your employer to appear for these certifications. Since Mohit is working independently, he has to procure it by himself. But if you are working for an employer, there are very high chances that your employer has SAP Learning Hub subscription, and they can offer you the certification attempts. And there's one cheaper option as well. Okay. Yeah, over to you, Mohit. Thank you.
Sure, Gaurav. Thanks for.
Yeah, in case anyone has any basic question answer, feel free to ask, because no question is basic. So feel free in case you have any doubt, because we'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, sure.
So Mohit, basically in Learning Hub itself, we have e-books and we have e-training kind of e-learning some for the same thing, right? So is that cover the same thing, or it will have some less amount of means kind of data or something that will be helpful for basically certification? Because what I felt in e-learning, it is just a recorded training kind of
correct. Yes.
Screen.
Sure.
Things,
so
right?
Yeah, sure. So just let me come to my next slide. I think it will answer your question. So yeah. So let me now giving now actually let me try to give the answer of this question after this slide. Yeah. So basically, this slide is all about how I prepare for the certification, or what are the different ways to get the materials for those certifications, or how we can learn the new technologies. So, like the first and foremost for any certification, suppose I want to do the Fiori certification, or I want to learn the Fiori technologies. So, in their help.sap.com, SAP had given the learning path for various technologies. Okay, if you want to learn, say, Fiori, then you should be very strong in fundamental of the user experience. What is the user experience and all? So you can go through this particular course, SAP X01. I will come to that point how you can get those courses, which will answer to your question also. So basically, this say you want to understand fundamentals, then you should know all for this course. If you want to get like the intermediate kind of skills, then just try to go through with those particular books. And if you want to become competent for yourself, then this should be the way forward. Like you should know UX 100, UX 402, 403, and 401. So all these materials basically is available on, as Gaurav also mentioned, all these materials on SAP Learning Hub. When we subscribe for SAP Learning Hub, we will get all these books. Like we will get all these. We will get all the soft version of those books, and we can start preparing for the examination. Is that answer of your question, or anything else you were asking? I think Santosh, right?
No, Paras.
Yeah. Paras, like.
Maybe just to add to what you said, Mohit, that I made a disclaimer. I'm not a certified guy. I don't have any of SAP.
That's okay.
So Paras, so this learning journey help you in defining what is the syllabus, right? Like we used to have in our colleges, schools. This is the syllabus, right? But there are always things which come out of syllabus. We don't call them as out of syllabus. They are like, you're expected to know this. So that's where I think the rest of the points cover that. So you need to have at least basic understanding of this. Rest is sky's the limit. The rest of the resources will help. Yeah.
Yeah, means basically Navneet and means I gone through that well, means that you can also download or as a PDF that whole journey, right? And it means even though if you want to click on that anything, it will route to the actual
correct. Yeah.
It means that file or that thing, right? And just to add, means when you are having this save for later, means like for going through that particular material, right? So you have to make it complete within the time limit. Otherwise, it will be getting updated and it will be getting obsolete. So you need to be check the latest material for that, right? If you
latest
keep
material,
your bucket for a 2 months or a 6 months, so it will be getting obsolete or new version will be coming on that, right?
Correct.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So basically, that is, of course, we need to check the latest material on their SAP training.sap.com. So learning journey will be, yeah.
Hello, Mohit. Sorry to interrupt you. One question. This is Chitra here. So just one question, that the CER 006, if we purchase it, only gives access to the certification hub, right? The learning hub, if we don't have a partner edition with the company, it comes extra, right? Or comes with an extra access. Okay.
Correct.
And just what I heard from Paras just now, like, can we save PDFs from Learning Hub? It's not possible.
No.
Not possible, right?
We cannot.
Means that learning journey you can download, means for your
Yeah.
convenience, but that material, even though you cannot copy or something, means the text, even though.
Exactly, yes. You cannot copy the material, even you cannot save it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You may, like, just to add, you may have to like take screenshots and all for important content if you want.
Ideally, I think it is not.
Okay.
Because this is all copyright material. Because
yes, this is what they are saying very initially when you are starting your course. If you are doing, that's your choice, but it doesn't make help because it's too much screenshots, and how you will be managing for that. That's different. Means if you are going to pirate something, that doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yes.
Make your hand notes. Notes are okay.
Yeah.
Hand notes are okay, and I think that's perfectly fine. But screenshots, I'll say copyright issue. I think so.
Oh, yeah. It's like it's important content. So, if there is some diagram, if you try to
You
search
can
in,
bookmark because you have access, so you can bookmark those things. You can make the notes at the side of it also. I think so, right, Mohit?
Yes, we can.
yeah.
Or digital thing you can do, but not the physical or unofficial ones. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we are
Yeah.
not supposed to take the screenshot and all officially. Yes, yeah.
Just to add one point, actually, I was preparing for HANA on ABAP, and they have e-learning in Learning Hub. So for that particular course, if you are doing some HA 100 or so, so there was a feasibility to download the PDF file. So you could use it for the personal use, just to highlight it or something, because I was not liking the UI much. So I downloaded the HA 100 and I was trying to read in the PDF form. So you could try that.
I guess that
HA100.
is possible only in iPhone or iPads
No,
for their app
No.
version. This is
Yeah.
what I guess.
No, it was in the desktop browser. So you could
No.
try in your Learning Hub.
Yeah, I think
But I
some
would-
material is like that. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not
That's
encrypted. Like I'm doing the CPU's certification, CPQ certification. And material is PDF. It's you can download it. Maybe it's the content is not encrypted like the other one. So it could be just what you call oversight from the content team there.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything is like it's not
Yeah.
downloadable. Yeah.
In SAP Learning Hub, also we have different options like professional subscription and all. So it might depend on that also. But yes, SAP is not recommending to download or this thing as far as I know. Yeah. So
No, somewhere I heard in this material means going through this one. So using Apple phone or Apple iPad, basically there is an option to download means within their repository within SAP, means Apple repository or something, but that could be download means as per their SAP itself.
I think.
Yeah. So that is for offline learning. Offline learning.
Yes.
Learning and then, and if the subscription expires, then you lose the content access and everything. It's like that.
Yes.
yes.
Good.
Shall I start?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Sure. So as we were discussing about the learning journey, yeah. Apart from that, what I find like to actually basically to get a real exposure in the client's project and all. Of course, it is the fastest and the like I would say it will be the most efficient way to learn any new technology. So just try to get if we can get the new projects. Basically, if we can get the new project in some new technologies or something, so it would be definitely useful. Sometimes we need to work on various clients demos, competency building, internal team, and we need to make a lot of POCs and all. It will definitely help to learn the new technologies. As we all mentioned, like SAP Learning Hub subscription, it's very useful to get all those books access, and we can easily go through all those books and can read all the books. SAP Press books are very nice. Those are written by experts. I do have my personal collection of more than 25-30 SAP Press books, at least for SAP ABAP related or SAP technical stuffs. I do purchase a lot of SAP Press books, and I really find it's very useful. If you want directly to learn from experts, I would say OpenSAP is the best place to learn. You just see whatever with the latest course which are coming in the market, whether it is for the RESTful programming model, Fiori, or the robotic automation, or all those things, right? So like OpenSAP courses are really very concise and very useful. Developers.sap.com, if you want to just do the small application and just you want to do your hands dirty in the technologies, I would say developer.sap is the best place to go with that. And last but not least, SAP communities. you will be direct, like what I learned from most, like from the SAP blogs, from my personal experience. You can see the blogs from the mentor like DJ Adams, Jocelyn, Dennis Campen, all those things, and from our friends like Mahesh, Vijay Sharma, Nabit. Those people's blogs are really very good. In fact, some YouTube videos by Nabit and all, right? So those things are very useful if you want to learn technology very quickly and just go on and to the deeper inside the technology. So just keep a strong eye on the SAP communities, SAP blogs, YouTube videos. It would be definitely help for achieving, basically to learn the new technologies, and of course it will help in SAP certifications also.
Yeah, and I would add one more thing here. I think
Yeah.
before what is I don't know whether yes, but this SAP Yard also I find very good because
Correct. Yeah.
sometimes I have to start things, right? Whatever is available free of cost is on the community is very good for me. Okay, so SAP Yard has its own way to quick start things, which I also find good. Yeah.
Yes, appreciate. And Nabit, SAP Art is really very good, like especially whatever I have seen, like the step 1, step 2, step 3. So the way they give the examples are really good. Yeah. Okay, I'll move to the next slide for the key certifications deep dive. I will start with ABAP on HANA. So as like few people also mentioned just now, for the ABAP on HANA, basically 3 books which SAP is recommending from their SAP Learning Hub, like HA400, HA300, and HA100 basically. So HA400, so basically all these figures that you will see over here, it is based on my experience and what I felt it. So these figures nothing to do with training.sap percentage and all. The figure which I had mentioned here, it is based on my experience and based on my feedback only. Yeah. So basically what I felt like the ABAP on HANA was the HA100 was the most important for all those basically for this certification. Are basically around 85 to 90% questions directly will be coming from HA400. Information modeling, calculation views, native HANA related questions would be around 5-7% from this certification, and some fundamental related questions which I will come now in the detail. So basically, if you want to go for the ABAP on HANA certification, so just make sure you have very strong fundamentals of the ABAP on HANA basics. So when I say ABAP on HANA basics, so the most of the questions will be coming from the CDS, AMDP, table functions. Sorry. So basically, there would be some questions which will be very basic. There would be some question which is little bit complex, but I won't say complex, but it will depend on your fundamentals and all. So the most important topics which I felt like the CDS, AMDP, table functions, all this will be covering around 25 to 30% in your examination. Other most important topic which I personally felt in the exam is the performance optimization, and what should be the coding standard, what should be the coding guidelines as far as the ABAP on HANA is concerned, right? So like it would be asking us the question about SQLM, it would ask the question about SWLT, it would ask the question about the ATC cockpit, it would ask the question about the code push down, it would ask the question about like which query might give us the better performance. So basically the questions related to performance optimization, especially for the ABAP on HANA SCI related things, will be the most important topic in your examination. Other most
Mohit, forgive my, I might have missed it. So these are all objective questions which come, right?
Yes, all these are objective questions. There would be actually question. Means all the question would be objective. There would be some multiple choice questions also. Means you can have a 2 or 3 answer for a questions also.
Yeah, so this is a bit different because, for example, if you have to do this Kubernetes or Docker certification, Docker still has objective, but Kubernetes is all practical. So they will open a server in front of you, there will be 18 questions and you have to do each and every one of them. It is no objective.
No. It is actually, thanks for SAP, at least we don't have practical question.
Okay.
And do we have some kind of sample papers or kind of thing that we can find out somewhere?
Yes, in training.sap.com also we can have some sample questions. They would be giving some sample question for individual certification, what kind of the questions come. But the question is generally based on like, say for example, the MDP questions, how about the MDP question? So basically they will ask which interface is mandatory for a class to become basically which interface is mandatory for a class to become a AMDP class. So they will be giving you the 4 options. We know like if underscore AMDP underscore marker is the mandatory class. So they will be giving you, yeah. So basically this kind of the questions is they come. One say tricky question, I would say one tricky question, and which is I found in my exam, like when we declare the AMDP class, so we say like a class name, then we say read only HDB procedure, something like that. Okay, so they will give the exact syntax, and in the 3 lines in between, they will use some insert update statement, and they will ask whether this class will give you dump, this will class will give you syntax error, or this will not execute, or they will give the output like, okay, this will be the output. Okay, so if we have you say read only, then we cannot use the insert update delete in that our MDP class. So this kind of the tricky question which requires your practical understanding also. So this kind of the questions will come, and believe me, it is very simple certification if you just read and just do the proper practice for every topic in front of system. You will be able to answer all of them questions very easily.
Here I would like to add that if someone wants to practice, then Udemy also has some course there.
Okay.
Question bank something is there, so it will cost you around 300-400 rupees, and there are some question bank sets which will help you to practice it.
Have you used that? I mean,
yeah,
have you tried that?
Yeah, I've used it. The questions are not direct, but it helps to build some confidence. So
can you repeat this?
No, if you want to practice, then Udemy has some courses which has question bank only. Means so for cloud, for this extension module, there was questions. I took that, and it helped to build some confidence actually. So if some topic you are not clear with it, and you see the question, so if you fail, then you will actually go and do a little bit deep dive, and if that question comes up similar or something wording here and there comes up, then you will be able to answer it. So it helps in that sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, Udemy also.
Okay.
Yeah, because Udemy and I think one of the other also, these guys have started in SAP space also. Earlier Udemy was only for this open source and full stack non-SAP one. Yeah, that's a good advice, Ravi. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, even I don't know about it, so thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue, Mohit.
Sure. So basically, there will be very few questions for the database procedure, external views, database proxies, DBC connectivity. So we give some particular time on that. But personally, I would recommend just to go through the information modeling at very, very last, because just to cover 5%, we need to read 700 pages and all. So, and in fact, those questions are very simple from the calculation view. Even we don't need to go through those books very in detail. So I would personally suggest to go through the HA 400 for most of the topics. At least you can cover your 90-95% from that. Then go through the information modeling if you still have the time, right? And apart from that, few questions will be definitely come from the HANA architecture, like what is the MDX architecture, what is the index server, and all. So just try to understand the high level understanding of those server works, basically what the index server will do, what is the like your HANA Access engine will do, something like that, right? So those questions will be definitely in the exam. Yeah. The preparation time, I would say around 3-4 months. If you start from scratch, you have the basic understanding of all the ABAP and all. So at least it is going to take 4 months of the rigorous preparation for clearing the examination. I would now cover the Fiori application developer certification from the
Mohit, sorry to interrupt you. I just have a question here. See, this is as we already discussed before. Personally, you already helped me a lot in this. So this is on ABAP on HANA, right? So I always had a doubt that how there is another certification also, which is HANA Dev, right?
Yes.
HANA Dev 17. So how much preparing for this one helps that one, or is there any common topics or anything like that, or preparing this one also will be beneficial there?
Can you tell me the exact code? Because for the ABAP on HANA, for a more or less a similar course, now in the CR006, we have 3 certifications, 14, 16, and 17, which is ending with 14, 16, and 17. So the time when I did the certification, I think it was a 16, but with the similar course, they have introduced with a 17. Only difference, what I can feel personally, it was the questions on the HANA modeling and the native HANA, because with the S4 HANA, information modeling and the native HANA related things are becoming, especially the calculation views and all, right? So those are becoming absolute, and they are trying to promote more and more CDS, AMDPs, and all those things. So
I can probably come in here. The modeling, the other one which Chitra is saying, that one has nothing about ABAP. So I have done ABAP on HANA, and I am preparing for the other one that is totally on the modeling side. So imagine you have a HANA database, then you expose it using XSO data and do your server side using XSJS and expose in a Fiori application with no ABAP in between. If you are targeting that, then that is that certification.
Correct. That's a different one. The cloud.
That's a different one.
Excessive one and all. Yeah.
Yeah. For that, the book number is HA450, if I am not wrong. HA450, HANA Access and all those things. Yes. So that is a completely different syllabus, Chitra. It is HANA Access certification.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I was talking about ABAP on HANA only we have 3 certifications now, 14, 15, and 17. But HANA Access is a different certification.
Yes. I think 17 is the latest on this, right?
Correct. They have just introduced it, yes. The last month only, yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Mohit, and thanks, Subhendu.
Thank you.
What about this live access and basically live sessions? So will it be charging if you are trying to access on Learning Hub? Means will it cost extra?
So I have not personally attended any live courses and all. I was just using their SAP Learning Hub books only. So I'm really not sure if for the live sessions they will charge. But of course, if it will depend on your subscription cost. Like which Learning Hub access you have taken, it is a professional or a basic one. I think they have 2-3 kind of a subscription.
Yeah, in the live access, probably I can pitch in. Okay, so if you have access to live access facility in SAP Learning Hub, okay, you can actually access the systems, okay, for 20 hours, okay, for total of your span of certification. It's like if you are doing let's say you want to do it for the Fiori certification, then you will have access to upon a Fiori system. You can actually do the exercises there. Similar to some other certification, if you want to appear and you don't have access to that particular system, you can access the server through SAP Live Access, and you have 20 hours to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Gaurav. Sure. Let me move to the next slide. So basically, Fiori application and developer. For that, actually, I find the course syllabus is very, very lengthy. But what I find this is the most simple certification which I have done till date. So basically, I will cover those points also why it looks very simple to me. So basically the certification books are 402, 410, 403, and and the UX 100 if you will check it from the official training.sap website. But I personally tried to go inside the more deeper into that certification to understand those certifications. So basically, it covers only questions from those 5-6 topics. So if you have really practical exposure, if you have gone through the YouTube videos of Navit, or you have gone through the SAP UI5 SDK walkthrough, I think then also you will be able to at least
don't recommend my videos. They might be, so go ahead and refer to SAP community DJ Adams one.
Sure,
yeah,
sure. Yeah. Okay. That depends. So SAP UI5 SDK walkthrough is also very good, where they have gone through the step-by steps for the data binding, MVC architecture, Fiori elements, what are the different notations. Especially the questions would be coming from manifest.json in newapp.json component controller, some launchpad configuration basics, and the UX concept basics and all. So if we have the strong foundation for the data bindings, XML controls, and all those things, I would say we can easily crack this certification. There is one very nice SAP Press Books Fiori certification guide by Krishna Kishore Kamje. I had personally read the books and purchased it. I find this books is very, very useful. They have given a lot of practice questions, a lot of demo questions, which were really helpful for this particular certification. We have that open SAP course also, so I found it is also very useful. So we can of course go through with that course. For the Fiori elements, so recently with the recent Fiori development certification, they have introduced a UX 403 Fiori elements questions also. So Fiori elements questions, I find it's very straightforward. They will be simply means what I find it is all based on my experience. So basically, like the questions were based on like which annotations has been used for which purpose, like @UI dot line item, @UI dot selection field, or consumption dot value help. So this kind of the questions will be coming as far as the Fiori elements is concerned. But of course, we can go through with those standard books which SAP had provided. So just try to go through with those. Basically, if you have the proper understanding of the UI5, then we can directly start with SAP Fiori certification guide from SAP itself. It is a genuine book, which from the SAP press only, which will be give us a lot of confidence. Any questions or any suggestion anyone would like to ask, or I can move to the next.
Just to add that there is a channel named Code with Brendan. Okay, he's a very amazing channel, and that guy has this SAP UI5 walkthrough, which is their standard one. He has made a video out of it, and 5 hours video. And trust me, that's one of the best one for anyone who just is starting in SAP UI5. So I put in the link also, so you can refer that.
Right, completely agree with you. It's a really wonderful video. Yeah.
And plus the advantage of, if you ask me which one I will pick, just giving my thought that rather than ABAP on HANA, I would go with this Fiori one, because it gives you so many things to learn, something new. Of course, in ABAP also you will learn about CDS and all, but at the end of the day, it is still ABAP. But here you need to understand so many different things. So I think that this is a very important certification. Might be a bit easy, but still it is very important.
Yeah.
Sorry, hi Naveed, can I ask you a question? Sorry, man. It's Nazir.
Yeah. Nazir, go ahead, shoot, please.
Okay, great, man. Thank you for the session. I'm finding it really informative and motivational. Mohit, I just want to ask a question about. I know you said you gone independent. So now, when you go independent, your company no longer has to pay for it. You have to pay for it, the certification on your own.
Yeah.
How do you go about paying for it? where do you get the details of like the, who to pay and
Yeah, so that information we can of course get from the training.sap.com. So when you go to the training.sap.com, you can go to the certification code and just purchase it as we do the normal purchasing from any other purchasing website, right? So just go and purchase the subscription.
so you see, once you make a booking, then you
Mm-hmm.
get you get a notification to say, okay, you booked for a certain date and time.
You
And
uh-huh.
so then to secure your seat, it tells you
Mm,
you have to make a payment.
correct. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know how to go about that process though.
Okay, so basically what you need to do, you need to go to the training.sap.com. From the training.sap.com, we can find all the valid certifications. We can click on any particular certification which we want to do. Suppose I want to purchase the subscription for CER 006. So I will click on that CER 006. I will add it to my cart and will do the payment by my debit or credit card. So I will, so basically once our payment is done successfully, they will be giving me the subscription for that particular code for 1 year. So once we have that certification subscription, I can go in their website. From their predefined set of certification, we can select the certification and just we can schedule our particular certification exam.
Yeah, you see where you get the option to say whether it's a company purchase order or it's not. So I
Yes,
chose
yes,
the
yes,
option
yeah,
that says
yes, yes.
it's a
So I always select my personal. Yeah, I got your point.
yeah,
So we have the option: it's the company one or personal. So I select personal.
yeah. So I selected the personal one, and I was able to go ahead and make a booking for a specific date.
Mm-hmm.
But now it says to secure your seat, you have to make a payment. But
Yes.
if I look in my my cart,
Uh-huh.
there's 0 items for me to pay. So how do you go about paying for it to secure that seat now?
I paid immediately. Okay. So in my case, what I did, I basically I did the registration and I sent them an email that education.apa.com education.apa.sap.com. Okay, I had booked that certification. Please send me the invoice. So basically, this time I have sent just a mail to them to purchase the certification from me. The last time when I had purchased, I had directly paid from their website. So it will depend. You can directly pay from their website also. Either you can just drop a note so they can send you the invoice and their basically they will send you the invoice number and against that you can do payment with your the debit and credit card. So probably after this
Okay.
session we can connect and I will show you in the system if you need any detail.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mohit.
Thank you, Najir. So you have
Thank
both
you.
the option. You can directly send them mail also, and they will generate an invoice for you. Otherwise, you can send like you can directly purchase from their website also.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mohit.
Thank you, Najir. Okay, yeah. So let me go to the next key certification. I hope the session is becoming long. I will just bind it up in the next 5 minutes. Yeah. So SAP Cloud Platform Enterprise Extension. Basically, this is the certification. Basically, this certification is S4 HANA Cloud certification, where they will be asking everything related to S4 HANA Cloud extension, like what are the different approaches to develop a custom extension, or the like if we want to create a new Fiori application and this thing, so how we can achieve the side-by-side extensibility from those like the S4 HANA cloud certification. So I will just basically here the key point here I would like to mention why certification is become very important for me, because in my this last 5-6 years I am working in S4 HANA. I have never got a chance to work on S4 HANA Cloud, but I am really thankful to this particular certification. Because of this certification, now I can learn all the in and out of the S4HANA Cloud. What are the different possible extension approaches? How we can utilize the API hub? How we can do the side-by-side extensibility? How we will secure our application in the S4HANA Cloud? How S4HANA Cloud is actually different than S4HANA on a premises. So if you want to get the answer of all these questions, I would say S4HANA Cloud Enterprise Extension is very good certification. And if you have the basic understanding of all the in-app extensibility, like your custom CDS views, your custom field and logic, your custom field and logic I just mentioned, custom CDS views, and we have one or two more application which is actually called the extensibility cockpit. So this extensibility cockpit for all the in-app extensibility will be very useful. So most of the questions will be based on that. So this particular topic, say in-app extensibility, will be common for our S4HANA on premises as well as S4HANA Cloud. So for this particular topic, I had practiced in my S4HANA system only. I know these skills long before only, but this was the part like the side-by-side extensibility, API hub and all those things, and how we can do the cloud and native development using S4 Cloud. So this certification had really helped me a lot. For this certification, one book is recommended by SAP, CLD 200. So CLD 200 will cover all these important topics. And apart from that, I found there are some very good blogs from the Danish Van Kampen. He is SAP mentor. So from his SAP Cloud S4HANA Cloud blogs, I really got a learning path how I can learn the different S4HANA Cloud extensibility approaches. So this is one of the, I would say, if you want to learn S4HANA Cloud, this certification is very good. This is the latest certification C_CP_12 which SAP had launched, and it will cover inside and out of the S4HANA Cloud extensions. So highly recommended from my side. As I mentioned, like in-app extensibility is the common for S4HANA on premises and all. So we can utilize our existing S4HANA system. Just to add one point over here, like to basically to practice S4HANA cloud system, I purchased basically I purchased a subscription from the Amazon's website that I will show you how we can do that. So that was really helpful for actually for me to learn all those S4HANA cloud related stuffs. But it is a little bit costly, around $1 for 1 hour or something. So please make sure you only practice for whatever with the time you need it. But of course, we have the system available, so we can do all these practices also. Yeah, so I had mentioned that point also. Imagine we can take the system for practice. Yeah, I'll just quickly go the benefits and all those things. So as I mentioned, I really felt benefit from all those certification. I would like to mention the 3 benefits which I can figure out very quickly, which I had got the benefits from the certification. I would say a few of the examples that I want to give. Like when I started working in ABAP on HANA projects for S4 Cloud on this thing, my client told you need to prepare all the standards, guidelines, all the convention and all those for our S4 HANA projects. I really don't have an idea. So this time SAP certification had really helped me, which had gives me a thought process to bring those documents. Because I had felt like whatever I have done in ABAP, right? So most of the things are exactly 180-degree opposite in ABAP on HANA. From the performance perspective, like you say, you have to fetch all the data, then you need to process all the things in your internal table. But in your S4 HANA, you do all these things in your select statement. So basically, this was one of the example, right? So this kind of the things which the certification gives you the different kind of thinking, like from the process, from the performance, from the guideline point of view. For my I started this contracting job and all. There also I feel like the certification has really helped me to get all those contact and all. And the last but not least, as I mentioned, for the S4 Cloud, I really don't have the real-time practical exposure, and in fact, we have very less SAP real-time projects who are currently moved into S4 Cloud. So this S4 Cloud certification had really helped me to go through with all the approaches that S4 Cloud system do, and actually based on our experience, we can make and we can interpret like many real-time business scenarios and all those things. So that certification and really helped me. Yeah, I would just request, if anyone is planning to go for a certification, please keep the same enthusiasm until we pass the certification. Please don't leave your preparation in between. As I was mentioning, like the fail and pass, it's just a two part of the story. I have given SAP Analytics Cloud certification, and I have and really failed on that exam. So I again So I had started preparing once again with the fresh mind, and I think in the next attempt or whenever I will clear that examination. So don't try to go with the shortcut or something. Try to learn the things, and I hope we will be definitely success. So keep the same enthusiasm, think of positive, and stay positive. I would say certification is never a waste of money. So don't listen to any people who tell certification is waste of money. I would say it would be very, very useful. With this, I want to stop, and I would request you guys feel free to ask any question for few of the question if anyone have. Or I am always reachable to my mobile number, my mail ID, or wherever. So please feel free to reach me or contact at any point of time.
I think, Mohit, just one word comes to my mind, is you have done a great job, man. So you've spoken from your heart, you've shared all your experience, and I really appreciate that. That's very inspiring. And hopefully you'll clear that certification soon. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mohit. Wonderful session. I think really inspiring one. You gave us a lot of information, which I think many of us were not aware of.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Yeah, I just have one question. Okay, you have also recently gone through the AWS certification. Okay, we all understand, since we are working in SAP space, that we need to go for SAP certifications. But why should one go for AWS or Azure certification?
Yes, so very good question, and Gaurav. Actually, I would like to mention here few things. Actually, like while I was working in SAP projects and becoming a architect, so sometimes I had felt many of the AW guys or many of the Azure guys comes to our client place, and they start selling us something, or they start presenting their idea. That point of time, I was feeling myself as a blank. Actually, I don't know their terminologies, how to discuss with them, and in fact I don't want to get expertise on those infrastructure and related things. I just want to understand what are the services in the cloud, how we consume their services, how we actually pay for their services, for which service we actually, how much we need to pay, if we have any option for a negotiation with them, if we can get better service. I mean, like any cloud service, like, okay, so if we can get any better service from them, if we avoid that service, then how much actually we will be affected. So all these are questions which were coming in my mind, and I was not able to discuss with them because I really don't have any idea about how infrastructure as a cloud works. So in fact, I was reading those cloud stuff from many days, but I don't have any things to show in my portfolio. Okay, I know those infrastructure related things at high level now. So that certification, I would say, is recommended if we want to give a high level understanding of all the infrastructure related things, like how we can install SAP HANA on AWS. If we install AWS, then what will be the benefits on our on-premises system? A few of the question you might have seen, like my clients always ask me, like, okay, how much work you have in the Saturday, Sunday, otherwise we will stop our server. So that really confused me, right? Okay, it is why Saturday, Sunday will reduce the bill. So all these questions really get automatically cleared when I did those certification. So I would say that AWS certification is very, very important if we just want to get a high level understanding from the infrastructure interview, Gaurav.
Yeah, and another thing is, Gaurav, I think it is a right time to get out of our comfort zone where we were just given a SAP system and you code, right? We never knew how this whole things work. What is networking? How do you create those load balancers? How do you how those things work? And trust me, because when I also done my this practitioner one certification, I actually understood that world altogether exists at a very at a different level, and we are just touching it at the superficial level or just the boundaries. So now, I think it is a must to do a cloud certification in these days. Okay, even
Correct,
if you do a engineer or whatever data engineer, whatever, important is keep moving forward, keep moving out of your SAP comfort zone, which we have always been for the last so many years. So I think it is a must. AWS cloud practitioner, at least do it so that you will have a very high level idea of what someone else is talking.
Correct. Yeah, this is really helped me to like Navit, you mentioned like the load balancer and all. So I remember like these words really scare me few days before, like the few months before.
Yeah.
Mohit, Nikhil here. One very basic question. I think to everyone who has done the certifications, like how much time does it expect from someone to cover the certifications in general, right? On a weekly or average basis. I just want to get a basic idea.
Okay,
if
so
possible.
Yeah, Nikhil, very good question. In fact, I would say it is like a must asking question. So generally it will depend how much skill you have. Suppose you don't have like the prior understanding of the certification. Just for example, I will give this a cloud platform enterprise extension. So I have the understanding of like how the in-app extensibility work, but I have never got the chance to work with a API hub or side-by-side extensibility or security concept in cloud and all, right? So it will depend how much basic understanding you have. But all in general, for any certification, I would say at least 1 month would be required, because you need to go through that books, you need to highlight that point. Then after highlighting point, you need to again go through those books. You need to practice in the system. So at least 1 to 2 months, give your time. It is not a race actually. Just give your time. Try to understand concepts and fundamentals. That is what I can say. At least 2 months should be required if you will practice sufficiently every day, at least 1-2 hours daily in the evening or morning whenever you have time. Yeah.
Thanks, Mohit. Thanks a lot.
Just to add, Nikhil, like means if you are selecting some of the key topics like HA400 or something, right? As an overview, means it will ask you to have 16 hours or duration means what it is being mentioned on there, right? So 16 hours or maximum 30 hours, right? So as you go through that material, it will take 16 hours, 15 hours, something like that. But thing is, it just doesn't make you read, right? If you're going to understand all those things, it will keep you in mind. Means it will take more than 16 hours or something. 16 hours is what means 1 day, 2 day, right? But if you are going to understand deeply or trying to practice, it will make you spend 1 month or 2 months, right? That will prepare you for the certifications, right?
Yeah, valid point.
Valid point, yeah.
I have one question here. We see that the same certification is coming up again, like with 17, 18, like this way. So do you think it makes the certification we've already done a little less important? Like you are an old version certificate guy.
Just let me pitch in there. Okay, so yes, for the SaaS solution certifications or S4HANA cloud certifications, Yeah, so we have those quarterly editions coming up, and there's a lot of innovation, lot of new things that come into the system on quarter basis. Okay, and but for the certification, yes, certifications cover all those points, but obviously, if we are getting so many innovations on quarter basis, after 1 or 2 years, probably whatever you had learned in your certification, that won't be valid. So for the cloud certifications, there is a need to uh, I think what is the word that they use? I don't remember. Do you need to kind of revive your certification? It's like a bridge certification that you need to do. That would be about the new things that have come. So and I
Delta
think it is
basically, Gaurav.
Delta, yeah. So it's
Delta.
very specific to cloud certification as far as I
Okay.
understand it.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so if there are no more questions, thank you very much, Mohit, for this wonderful
Thank
session.
you.
I think it's good that we recorded it. I think this will be of very much use to many of us. Okay.
Thank you so
And
much.
and
Thank
and
you all.
this and the certification is also, oh, sorry, PPT is also very useful. Myself and Nabit, I think Nabit is going to put it on our GitHub page. Okay, and also we will put the recording there. Okay, so now since we have some time and if you guys are interested, we can discuss about 1 or 2 topics. Okay, which I am very interested to ask you guys. Okay, there's a lot of push around the BTP. Okay, business technology platform, or you can say SCP from SAP now since the last decade. Okay, at least in my organization, there's a lot of things happening around this. Okay, so now I want to ask you guys, what is your experience in your projects, in your companies? Are you really working on SAP Cloud Platform? If you're not working, are your colleagues working? What is the exposure there? I just want to understand that. Are we really getting to work on these things? Yeah, anyone?
Okay. Can I come in here?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, I work in IBM and I'm working for Nestle account. The point is that there is so much customization from the maybe last 20 years. The whole architecture is like a mammoth, so they are very reluctant to move into S4 HANA or this kind of thing. So they have purchased all the access. We have for developing any new project, maybe they are encouraging, but for the existing, all the solutions, all their, like I work in the finance team, so all our like PEC activities or everything, there is so much customization involved that overall, even their end users, everyone, they are very reluctant to switch to anything new. So right now, even after so many years, like 5-6 years of S4 HANA, we are not working on anything new. Basically, it's same old kind of reports, same old. They like a module pool cockpit. So that's my experience.
Yeah, probably let me pitch in since you mentioned your client. I am aware of this client and the kind of work they are doing. They are doing a lot of work in SAP Cloud Platform, Shivendu. Just just
Yeah.
talk
Okay.
around with this. I know I'm aware of that. They have complete solutions built for their SaaS solution extension and all.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think this was one of any other. Nikhil, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, we just few months ago there was a project. I work for Infosys, and it was related to clinical studies, I guess. It was completely built on SAP. Or now, I was not the part of the project, but we were given knowledge transfer on that project in general. Using that project, I was given a knowledge transfer on SAP, right? And what I could see was that just to make it, or just to consume the APIs and given by SAP, like as simple as email sending functionality, it was made so difficult for a layman to just to make sure there was a consistency across all the applications, right? there is a form and you have to send that form to a given user. I could see that just to make it consistent, it was made very complex. That was one of my observations. Obviously, we are just consuming the API of email sending, and then for that I have to write transformations and transform that PDF into to make it usable across all that, right? So that was one of my observations. That's it.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I think initially probably there could be some issues. Probably sometimes we find those as issues. Okay, coming from our web background. So yeah, so even I really find this cloud development sometimes too much for me. Yeah, yeah. Anyone else?
I was
Yeah.
just a beginner, so I could not get all of it. I'll be honest, but at least from a beginner perspective, that seemed like not really needed to be done because they are trying to make it easier, right, by consuming everything. But that went to be more complex. Just one simple example of that, I could catch it. That's it. I know. I mean, it's still at the beginner phase, but yeah. But overall, the
Okay.
application was very stable and it was very good. But that I can say.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing your experience, Nikhil. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else working on Node.js, SAP Cloud Platform, RAP, RESTful Application Programming Model, Cloud Application Programming Model? Anyone doing all that stuff?
Yes, Gaurav. So let me add few things over here. Yeah. So basically, we have started building few of the POCs on a RESTful programming model and all, like to consume the CDS based OData service in directly SAP Cloud Platform and just build some of the application. So currently, we are in a process to understand like how actually it will be useful. We have also used some different SAP Cloud Platform services like means like different SAP analytics like the CPI that the integration services and all those things are services. Yes, so it is being used. Cloud Foundry means like yeah. So things are getting shaped. The CAPM based model also we have created few of the application just for the POC purpose and just comparing the performance for both the application like our normal application and all. So that work is in progress.
That's great, Mohit. You have been doing a lot of work on Fury elements as well. Good, good. I think you are the one guy that I would approach in future. We need to ask many things.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mohit and in fact, Mahesh also is doing a
Yeah,
lot.
maybe Mahesh is not here. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
even
So
Vijay also in RPA area.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So guys, next week or so next month, what we are planning that probably we will have some good panel discussion. We plan to invite some experts from the Fury space, okay, where they can discuss about moving from a web to Fury, things that we should look for in Fury. Probably in general discussion where you can also ask questions. So we're just thinking on those lines. So I think it's going to be very exciting. So that because the guys who are going to come and talk, they are like super guys. They are the best in business that you can see that you can say. Okay, so I think that next meeting is going to be very exciting. So yeah, please attend. Yeah, and any suggestions you have to make it better? Okay, any topics you want to suggest? Anything else? Just get involved. So this is something as before starting the meeting we were discussing with Mohit. Okay, so this is something we just we're getting together. It's not about that myself or Navit will start always. It's possible that tomorrow I have to go somewhere, or no, in some month Navit has to go somewhere. This meeting should not stop. So for that, we really want more guys to get involved. Like if someone is not available, because we can just possible that many people got some work to do. Like Sri has some work to do today. Okay, but there should be some guys who take the baton further. So please get involved, suggest us. if you can take some session, please take that. Okay. Yeah, I think this is what I can request. Yeah. Anything in the beat if you want to say, then we can close the session.
Yeah,
Mm.
Gaurav, hi
Yeah.
Navid. I would like to say that I am from basis side. So if you add something around installation related regarding HANA and S4 HANA on cloud, that would be better because this part I am not getting anywhere. Only I used to follow DJ Adams and Thomas. These people I am learning from them only. So if I get something new, I have got one project and that presently client is on 1909 and I have to, they are asking to upgrade the server to 2020 because they are having requirements which works fine on that only. So that type of ideas, how to do that, and because I am new completely in this regard. So if you add these topics, then it will be better for us also.
Yeah. So do we have any basis guys here?
Apart from Pankaj?
Apart from Pankaj?
I think, okay, Pankaj point well taken. And I have two-way suggestions here. One is because primarily here we wanted to have everyone here, okay, functional, technical and all. And our idea was that because suppose initially we'll have technical first, right? Because we are technical, so we have more of technical here. But slowly we'll have our functionals as well as basis guys, and we can have separate rooms for them, right? But sadly, as you can see, we don't have a many functional consultants, many basis consultants here. So, but you must be in touch with your basis circle also, right? So I think, so it makes sense for you to invite them here, right? The more we network, the more people will come, and the more experienced people will come, the more sessions we can have, right? Otherwise, I do understand, and I completely understand your situation coming from a basis background, but still you are here, and I really appreciate it. It takes a lot to attend a session which is from not from your round, which in itself says you want to learn, right? So maybe you can invite those in parallel. Let me, Mohit and everyone also talk around and get you some good guys, right, from basis, and then maybe you can have a separate room here in this meet also, and you can discuss your doubts. You can have your separate sessions also. Make sense?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Any other suggestions regarding topics? Any feedback about how it is done? We are open to all ears because it is not my show, not Gaurav's show. It is our show, right? It is our community. So feel free to reach out to us on WhatsApp, Twitter, wherever, right?
Yeah,
I think
guys like Paras, Shubhendu, Kapil, everything, anything you want to share, even if you want to take like 20-minute session, I think okay. Yeah, I think Vijay Sharma podcast. Naveed, would you able to put that link? I think Paras has mentioned in the chat that.
Yeah, it is a coffee corner one.
Coffee corner one, yeah.
I will do that.
So Vijay Sharma is that Infi guy or Chandigarh?
Infi
Okay,
Chandigarh guy,
that
yeah.
PCOE expert.
Infosys
I worked with him in one POC basically for cloud on OData basically on cloud for device. He's very much.
He's
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
fellow. He does an amazing job. Yeah.
He's a celebrity now, like Naveed. Two celebrities.
No one is a celebrity. We all people are just trying to help each other out.
Okay, then if we are no more questions, no more suggestions, anyone want to take a session, please mail myself, Naveed, anyone get in touch with us. If you have anything to share, even if at 15-20 minutes your experience working in some project, yeah, please come forward. Let's get involved more in this platform that we are building with time. I think it's going to be a core team. We are going to have a lot of fun here.
And spread the word. That is important because we are trying our level best to bring as many as our fellow community members, and the more we have, the better it is, because we'll learn a lot, right? So anyways, good. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. Well done. And thanks everyone for joining. So we'll close the call and meet you next month.